Howdy everyone, this is Mopbot, this is the Asgaard SMP, and welcome back to episode number 6, where we are just clearing off the last couple trees here. We have filled 2 shulker boxes and almost an entire extra inventory here. Let's go into free cam mode and just see what we've done. Of course, y'all have already seen this in the time lapse, slapping down that beacon and clearing this thing out. Hey, there's a fox. But this is huge. We've been waiting to do this for a while here, so let's take a peek at just what we all want to get done. Right, so standing up here, we have a pretty awesome view of just all the destruction that has occurred over the last little while here. But let's go ahead down to the main center of the base, and right now we are walking up through here, going through this little gate and entering our main courtyard here. And this actually kind of connects to the back, although it was covered by trees before. So where we have this line coming out right here, needs to be a bridge with a tower, and then we're gonna connect that up to this path here, and then probably just kind of wall this off, separate it somehow. I'm not quite sure how yet, but then this whole back area from that tower all the way around what we've just cut out, again, needs to be walled off. I think we're just going to make basically a big catwalk, and we're going to connect it to that building that we outlined in last episode, and that's going to section off this whole area, which is then accessible through this gate that goes into our main courtyard here. That's a lot of work. That is really a lot of work, and that's actually going to be kind of paired with what goes on the other side. So if we go ahead through our front entrance here and we go off to the right, we haven't actually made this walk in a while here, but if we come down the staircase into this building, and yeah, I guess I could have just jumped down, but here we have a bridge that we built a ways back, and that looks off to the side here. So we've still got a lot of blank space that we can do something with over here. There's another base back there, and this bridge connects off to somebody's base even further than that. So if we come up here and kind of see what's going on from this side now, this is all left as woods as it should be, but we started this tower in last episode and we said that maybe we'll build like a boardwalk or something along the water here and kind of connect it up to that, and I think that's going to be a fantastic cap to the side of the base. That just means that we should probably do something over here then, and probably again over here, because on this side we've again got lots of blank space, and then that connects right up to the spawn area, which of course on the other side of that is where we started with the main entrance here. So it's like a big loop around the whole thing. It's going to take so long, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of little projects that are going to pop up along the way. Also, I want to note that we went this far over and we didn't just keep going. Very specific reason. You can see me right there. I'm floating around in free cam. The base is in the background and the beacon is still standing, but look down here. There's another person's base right here, and it's super cool. I love how serene this looks. Little boat entrance and a dock and everything, and there are wonderful things going on inside of the mountain. We don't want to interfere with that, and I've just realized all of this wood decor on the side here, this like facade and all the leaves on top. I've never actually paid that close of attention before. That is really neat, but we don't want to interfere with that, of course, so I left all of these trees here, and we're just going to cap it off right there and just kind of plant right on top of that base. And as a testament to just what we've all plundered from that forest, we got a shulker box that is 2/3 full of logs, almost a whole other row of logs here. Yeah, I'm just tossing on the extra saplings. We got plenty of oak leaves if we want to do some decoration, and we have absolutely sticks for days. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. A little bit of birch too. That's not too bad. And hey, it looks like we have a visitor. Okay. Anyway, in last episode, this is what we worked on. This is the library. I have been waiting so long to do this, and I was just completely dependent on having these 3D bookshelves that allow me to start putting stuff in there and just kind of randomly make it look like that. Very cool decoration, but what I really wanted was a storage for the enchanted books, so now I can sort each one by their enchantment and just kind of fill them up there, and we had some overflow just tossed into barrels at the bottom. So even though I'm probably not going to need any more enchantments for this season, I at least wanted to have a good place to store them instead of just randomly off in the middle of nowhere, and really happy with how this came together. Maybe a couple more decorations could be had in the future, but for now I'm very pleased with this, minus the big gaping hole that leads off to this area. So in order to rectify that situation, we need to go ahead and build up this building here, and as you'll notice, this is a circular building, and that brings some reluctance to me because this is actually the only circular building that we have. If we go ahead and pop into free cam here, there are none others. And the reason for that is that I just really don't like them. And it's not that I dislike how they look, because I actually really do like how they look. I'm just really bad at doing it, so this is absolutely going to be a challenge, and it's going to be the primary focus for today. I guess it's going to be good practice for building circular builds then. But beyond that, we're going to have a catwalk going across here that's going to kind of act as the exterior wall to the building into one of these normal square towers that we always build. And then potentially, if there's time, we will also build a bridge out to that island, which currently has nothing, but might in the future. So hopefully this doesn't cater too much toward the slideshow appeal, but we have the tower done now, and it is time to plan out just how it's going to connect onto the next bit. We're not going to furnish the inside just yet. Again, just trying to do some big broad strokes and get lots and lots done of the exterior, so it's very presentable when you're looking by, and then we can kind of come back and we can just touch up the insides. As of today, the first pre-release for 1.21 is officially out, so we are really in crunch time now, but take a look at that. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if I love this. Kind of just looks like a Roman numeral 2, so I might need to come back and do something with that. But this like spire or whatever at the bottom is kind of the same thing that we've got going on here. I just sort of like recharacterized it for this building and just to make it fit with that. And as much as I hate circular buildings, because of the roofs particularly, I think this came out pretty well. We just kind of blended that into almost like, what would you call that? Like an octagon, and then just like changed it into like 4 rectangles coming in and meeting in the middle. So I think the blending came out pretty well. I tried to be kind of clever with how I did that so that we still have the circular building and it looks kind of neat from the inside, but then the roof still totally works here. So I'm gonna go ahead and fly up here now and just see what this thing looks like. Yeah, flying over this whole build. I'm so happy with that. Yeah, this is really neat, and I cannot wait until we have this whole valley filled. So, like I said, we're doing some big broad strokes here, so there's not a whole lot going on the inside yet. I'm thinking we have a staircase that goes up to a walk into the next building, and up here right now there's nothing, but if I use this little temporary portal, we can look up out the windows and see what else is going on there. There's something down there, and there's something, oh, that's my stuff. And I think there's something out over here. That's going to be my stuff as well, but you can kind of almost see over there. And then I don't think there's anything out this back window. Nope, that's just nothingness. Maybe eventually, but we are running out of time, so we will see. But I think I need to drop that roof down and probably bring these piers up right here and just make this whole like gateway kind of just blend into the roof, because I don't think that needs to be this tall. And then maybe eventually we'll have some kind of like actual staircase instead of just using that. So next step in the slideshow, first off, hopefully my voice sounds okay. I've been fighting off allergies for the last couple of days here, but we have plans for a tower here, a tower here, a tower here with a couple of waypoints in the middle. And then we have a bridge already done as a sample here, and that is going to continue all the way around here. So we're gonna have this nice enclosed area. And we actually have done something kind of like these waypoints already. If I come back over here to this bridge, we take a peek at the clock tower and look down. We've got this kind of like landing pad here. We're gonna do something very similar to that, kind of the same idea over here, except maybe just a little bit taller so that it actually kind of stands out just a little bit. And then, yeah, that wall is going to come all the way around, and we have to bring the ground out and just do a little bit of terraforming. And I'm really, really excited for what is to come. But as long as I have done this, let's take a look at what it looks like, because it feels very reminiscent of all the other bridges that I've done. I did kind of take the 2 vertical lines here and almost kind of just like reflect them down here, so we're kind of keeping that same idea going. This is a different pattern that I've done in the floor compared to the other ones, but that is specifically to mimic what's going on up there, and I think it kind of captures that idea. I don't know if it does it perfectly, but if we go on in here now, it's just a little bit cleaned up, so now it blends in nice and smooth to the library. Okay, we walk in here, there's like an arch, there's a couple of altars on the sides, and then we can go up. And this is all nice and smooth up here. And actually, I didn't realize this, these up and down things with the wool actually work through half slabs, so that's pretty cool. So we can just stand right here in the middle, line ourselves up with the paintings, and then just go straight back down. So yeah, pretty happy with how this is looking. So we might add more stuff in here, but for now, at least it's clean looking. So 1.21 has just dropped, which means that we are for sure coming to a close on this world, which makes me very grateful that we did take the time to grind out as much as we have here. Look at that! We've got a lot going on here, And we're obviously not done yet, right? These are going to be walls, so we need to put blocks under them yet, but we now have a complete loop. We can walk out of this tower here, we can run all the way around here and back in the other side, and that connects through the building up right back here. So I'm kind of curious now, if we take a second to just time ourselves out, let's see just how fast we could actually run this lap. And there we go. Wow, I was worried we almost wouldn't have enough food to keep sprinting. So obviously didn't do any like jumpy or anything. Wanted to keep it as smooth as I could for the camera, but still try to show off what was going on inside of all these builds, because I don't think it's worth it to just kind of go through and just show off every little bit of detail, because so many of them are so similar. But I did want to show off one thing that didn't get seen here, because this is a tower not only that connects to that tower and to the path that goes along here, but if we come down here, and this was like totally not visible, right here is what we saw. We have just like this little like almost like staging area before going off into the wall here. But if we come around the corner, we have another step down, and this right now is just a big hole that goes off to another island. So I'd like to connect to that island through a bridge or something, and this is where that's going to come out. And then there was one other thing that we didn't really talk about. It was just kind of an off-the-cuff thing that I did in the spur of the moment. But if we come around here, this tower is the fishing tower. And you guys haven't seen this too much because, oh, well, of course I would miss that. You guys haven't seen this too much because it was mostly just off-camera stuff that I would use for farming, but this is nice and detailed up now. We've done a lot of work in this to get the staircase all looking pretty good that I'm happy with. This is the OG storage that we've had pretty much the entirety of the season here, but now we actually just have some decoration going through it. Before we just had this weird like switchback staircase that just kind of went straight up the side. Now it kind of fits with everything else that we've got going on here, and I think it looks so good. I'm so happy with it. This room didn't have anything in it before. It was just an empty place to farm, and then we brought down the ceiling, added some decorations around here, and even stored our fishing rod in an armor stand, which is a little hard to get, but I guess if I just get another tool, then we get the fishing rod right back here. Probably aren't going to need that again this season though. But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up because, oh, that's not even the right window. Let's go ahead and wrap this up because we put a lot of work in, but we're not quite there yet. And with that progress jump, we have a completed episode. I did so much today. Wow. Okay, so the wall now comes all the way down, and I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Kind of played around with like having trapdoors and whatnot down there. I think I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously nothing's textured yet. I'm just going to kind of do that as I have time. Right, we look at buildings like this and we can see that stuff's mixed in, and none of that's going on here. So obviously we got to still go through and do all of that. But look at this. We got the wall coming down. We've got a staircase going up so we can actually access it from out there. And the terrain is completely smooth now. If I come on up here, now I did not want it to be level. That was definitely something that I wanted to avoid. But what I did want was it just to be kind of smooth and just like look very rounded off in edges, and then just kind of still maintain the majority of the natural slope. I just got rid of some of the harsher edges and then filled in some of the gaps. So pretty happy with that, and then just lit it all up because mob spawning has been one heck of a problem here. But yeah, I'm super happy with this. Let's go back into my body here. There we go. And come on down here and just take a look from another vantage point because I feel like I've really been overusing that one up there. But if we come down here, yeah, I'm super happy with this. Added a couple extra decorations around here. You'll notice the hanging pots right there, the lanterns on the bridge. Obviously, there's the staircase that we already mentioned. And then we have some of the pyres right here as well. So yeah, tons of little details going on in here. Not sure we'll actually be able to utilize this space, but I did at least want to section it off and just kind of claim it as a part of this build. So long term, the idea would have been to have like a little village over here. And maybe I'll still take this world in a single player after this world comes down. And this could probably be a little smoother, huh? Let's do this, maybe. After this world comes down, and just kind of keep tooling around with it until I'm happy with it. Does that look pretty good there? I think it does. So that might be the long-term plan. But yeah, I was going to have like a manor and a couple little farms and maybe a couple little shops and like a blacksmith and whatnot. But yeah, obviously just don't have time to do all of that right now. Obviously there's still just a little bit more to do. We have the all the texturing to do, and then if we go once more into free cam, just kind of leave my body real quick here. On the front here, you can see that none of the exterior wall is done. There's still a bridge marked off here that I'd like to do, and then kind of just connect that up into the rest of the build here, and probably into this tower as well. And then as we looked at earlier, there was one more bridge that wanted to get built out the back here. And if you recall from last episode, I think it was last episode, maybe it was this episode, I don't quite remember, we have one more tower that needs to get built over here, and I did plan as well to build a boardwalk off to that build, and then just kind of tie everything in along the front by just kind of mocking up the terrain and making it fit in with everything around here. And then of course I should probably still do something with the front courtyard, so I think we'll probably have time for one more episode before we actually get to update to 1.21. Again, we're just waiting on all those data packs and mods to get updated to actually make the update usable. So until then, yeah, like I said, we'll probably have time for one more episode and then a final world tour, and then it's all for this world. And that just feels so sad to think, but I'm absolutely loving what we're doing in the meantime, and we are not stopping. Like I said, we want to finish all those little projects around here and just make this my completed base. So anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Go ahead and subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all next time.